Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the Muslim Converse channel. If Islam is known by anything, it is its ritualistic prayers. You see it on TV, thousands of Muslims gather together praying to God, bowing and prostrating at the same time. Islam has had many kinds of ritual prayers called Salat. Some of these prayers are obligatory, and some of them are recommended. In addition to this, Islam also has supplications or du'a. In some other religions, prayers and supplications are often the same thing. In Islam, although both are performed together, they are theoretically distinct. Prayers are the ritual movements that a person must do. They require special conditions and ablutions before one can perform them. We've spoken about these conditions before, so we're not going to do them now. Du'as are a bit different. Du'as don't have ritual actions that accompany them. They are simply supplication that one utters to God, either during Salat or outside of it. When done outside of ritual prayers, there is no obligation to do wudu or ghusl, or be in a special place. One can make them at any time. Du'as don't have to be formal either, whereas prayers have to. If you don't do your salat the right way, you have to correct yourself somehow, either by making up for some missed units or repeating the entire salat again. In du'as, there is no such thing. As long as one maintains proper respect to Allah, they are fine. So you can say them in a language other than Arabic, and you can say them in a state of ritual impurity. You can simply pour your heart out to God, and you can do it anywhere at any time. We do, however, have standard du'as that are present in the Quran, as well as in the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his al-ayāt alayhi salam. These are important not only for their majestic beauty, but they are also important because they teach us the proper ethics of how to supplicate to God. As will follow, we will give you a brief list of the kinds of salats we have in Islam, as well as some of the different du'as the Prophet and his al-ayāt alayhi salam taught us. We're not going to cite all the kinds of prayers and du'as that we have, but we'll simply outline some of the most important ones in Islam. Obligatory salat. There are 5 main obligatory ritual prayers or salat in Islam. They are as follows. Number 1, Salat al-fajr, dawn prayer. Number 2, Salat al-dhuhr, noon prayer. Number 3, Salat al-asr, evening prayer. Number 4, Salat al-maghrib, prayer after sunset. Number 5, Salat al-isha, nighttime prayer. In addition to these prayers, we also have other salat that are obligatory in Islam. Here are some that follows. Friday prayers, Salat al-Jumu'ah. There is a disagreement as to whether this prayer is obligatory during the absence of the 12th Imam, so please make sure to check with your raja on the subject. Prayer of the signs, Salat al-ayāt. These salats or ritual prayers are performed when an eclipse, earthquake, or any other event that causes fear in people takes place. It is called prayer of the signs because events like earthquakes are signs of Allah's power. These prayers are reminders that Allah is the master of this world. Right, when we think we are under control. The witnessing of these events show us how powerless we actually are. We are in a constant state of forgetfulness, but natural disasters have a mysterious way of reminding us of Allah. As a result, despite the terrifying nature of these disasters, we should find ways to be grateful for them, as well for their potential as reminders for Allah. Salat al-ayāt is obligatory. If you happen to miss it for some reason, you need to make it up whenever you can. Here are the occasions when the Salat al-ayāt are occurred. Number 1, earthquakes. Number 2, thunder and lightning that instills fear in people. Number 3, storms that have black and red winds. Number 4, solar eclipse. Number 5, lunar eclipse. Salat al-mayyit, prayers for the dead. Prayers for the dead are a social obligation. This means that when someone dies, the Muslim community in one's locality must have someone to do the prayer for the deceased person. Once this obligation is fulfilled, the obligation is lifted from the other members of the community. If not, then the whole community is sinful. Other kinds of salat. Outside these standard obligatory salat, we also have other prayers which are generally not obligatory. Here are a few. that we